Hey guys, we're going to do a long-term review of the AUKEY dual dash cam I bought off of Amazon for about $140. We're also going to do a quick install video of the 2018 Honda Clarity, which you've been asking about, and of course have some footage as well as the overall review of this camera after 20 months. So overall, this is an awesome camera. Big thank you to the 11,000 plus subscribers to the SterlingW channel. Like, subscribe, leave some comments below. This is all because I did an unboxing in January 2019. I did the install of it probably a few days before that on my 2018 Honda Clarity. So with a quick overview, it looks a little different because you actually see it. I'm going to go over the other stuff with this. It is very different from my install from my 2017 Chevy Volt, which I have in our video. You want to check out the link below. But I ran the cable through the A-pillar down through the bottom, under the dash, and strapped so I could power it through the USB that's internal. For this one, it's actually a little different. I did the same thing of running the rear camera and power cable through the headliner, but instead of opening the A-pillar, since it's a Honda, you actually have to replace a pin in there, so I didn't want to deal with that. So what I did was that I put it between the headliner and that A-pillar housing. I pulled out the weather stripping on the side, and it opens to a large cavity between the weather stripping and that A-pillar trim. So you can actually run wire straight down that. Normally what I do is I open that up and secure it to existing wire, just like how I did for the Chevy Volt, if you want to take a look at that video. But for this one, it's a little different. I left some tools and parts into the description below because you'll need some other stuff like basically some foil tape, some foam tape, as well as some grommets or a door guard stuff and trim tools. So it helps you a lot when running this. I actually ran the wiring behind that trim, and it goes underneath this trim box, so it jumps underneath the driver's chair so that I could pull power. As you can see, there's the line for my radar detector power, and I just put it right next to my custom mats. But most of the dual camera's wiring to the back for the dual camera runs along the driver's side side door trim. So not door trim, but more like the entrance trim. So I just basically pull it down a little and then put the trim behind there, hit it into these more trim. You need that trim tool. It makes it a lot easier. I did take apart the seat so I could run some of the wiring in there. So the wire goes down. It's only one single wire that's pretty thick. I opened the back seat and also took apart this shoulder area. That shoulder part takes off with like a 10 or 8 millimeter bolt. You need extension ones, and also you need trim removal to get rid of these things to get past this fabric. And this whole thing actually comes out. You should download some of the PDFs online on how to install like a, I guess, Honda accessories for the Honda Clarity 2018. There's a compartment to open up like here, like this back area that actually you could run wire through. And that's exactly what I did. I looked through those documents, those PDFs, and basically pulled wire through that. And from the back, if you take a look at it, I pulled all this this upholstery or this trim off with the trim tool, and basically ran the wire through it and pull this down. It actually has, that's that little thinning cable, that's actually the wire for it. It runs alongside with that other Honda trunk latch pull. As you can see, I added rubber edge door guard here so it won't cut anything, because normally they're pretty strong or pretty sharp for the metal. So I pulled out most of the trim to get to there, and I put on more of this, all this trim comes off of those little clips, and by doing that you actually add in the adhesive mounts that they give you in the kit. The AUKEY kit already comes with like 26 feet of this cable that extends all the way back. It's actually a normal thick USB cable, which is, you can actually replace something else, but 20 something feet goes to the back trunk very easily. I actually put it through the arm, use a Phillips screwdriver, take off these other pins, and then use the trim tool again to open this whole back covering area. And there it is. There's the rear camera and also the USB cable that houses it. It also has a lot of 3M tape, so you could mount it against the hood so none of the cables will rattle or anything. As you can see, there's a little green light that goes through the glass and it shoots right above those defroster lines. Now, this is pretty neat. These things just come off by popping it off. Again, the USB cable and stuff, there's really not much. There's actually anchors I put in, that's adhesive that came with the IU kit, that helps you run the line. I zip tied the rear cable to the existing cable. Now, how do I power this? The power comes out from that side and it goes into a 12-volt USB power bank. Now, I actually have a 4-way splitter for my 12-volt that goes into the front dash and 12-volt, and then I actually have 2 very powerful USB chargers, or PD chargers, that charges very, very quickly, and over 2.4 milliamps to this 26,000 milliamp power bank with dual fast charging. I put a PT charger there to charge it really quick. This thing charges full in about 6 hours, but normally if you're just running this will basically have your camera run 24/7 pretty much for a day. If you're out and about driving, it actually recharges enough. Like if you drive for about 30 minutes a day, 2 times, it floats pretty well. So I'm actually thinking of getting a much larger one, like a 30 to or more larger battery, or have this running in serial so that I could keep constantly charged. But this way, with the 2 fast charges, it charges really quickly. I also have a regular fast charger for my phones and stuff, and also other fun stuff in the front of the car so that I could keep my phone charged. Like I said, I already have that plugged in. I could have plugged it in right into its existing USB, but I didn't want to run that wire. Not much I had other things I want to power, like my radar detector that I want to basically just put under my seat so it's out of the way, no one could see it, and also you don't have to see all the cabling. So you want to look at the description below and see all the cablings and all these other parts and accessories and stuff. So give me a like, leave some comments below. Of course it's not the end of the video because I haven't reviewed this thing. So a lot of these things, like the accessories, are cool, and I'm glad that this AUKEY thing works for the past 20 months. It hasn't failed me. It hasn't did anything. I didn't include a shock sensor. I didn't even put a GPS on this thing. But the thing I really hate about it was that it powers up and off if there's a fluctuation in voltage. So that's why I actually use a large power bank. Now I could have used this OBD2 shock sensor that I bought with it, but I eventually didn't because at that time I didn't have a USB connection. Not to mention I don't want to run it through my 12-volt. I actually want to run it through the USB connection and a power bank. So here is the footage of the front cam during the daytime. As you can see, it's pretty clear. I think when I made this video, it probably compressed it a little, but overall it's a very, very clear image. If you want to pause it, you could take a look as well to see if any license plates or anything else, any details, but overall it's pretty fun. This video was actually taken like when it was the Long Beach Grand Prix. This was roughly in, I don't know, last year, I think, probably, when they had the Grand Prix at Long Beach. But it was pretty awesome. And here's the rear cam of it, and you can see the detail of the road as well as everything. Anything like 2-3 cars away, it's actually pretty darn clear in broad daylight. Of course, you're probably wondering what the night looks like, so I'll have the footage, next few seconds, you'll probably see that footage as well. So here's the night cam footage. Of course, you can see the reflection of the license plates and stuff, the streets. It looks pretty cool. This is with the headlights on, running forward, so you can actually see pretty good detail in cars and stuff. Of course, if you're right in front of the other car, you can see it. Rear wise, if the headlights hit the camera, it actually looks pretty cool. I think my camera's a little dirty, or the glass outside has got kind of dirty, but overall, if it's completely dark, it's very hard to see much of anything. But of course, when your brake lights go on or anything else, it lights up most of it and it captures most of the light pretty well. The rear isn't as wide as the front, so if you take a look at the front of the camera, this is much wider. Of course, this is the front camera. This is in the Super Bloom last year, so it's been pretty cool. But as you can see, a lot of detail, very, very wide compared to the rear camera. And you can probably hear the audio too. I left the audio going to record, but it's actually a little less noisy than that of my other the videos, because I actually turned those down. So this is actually turned down like 10% or so of the volume. But as you can see, it captures very, very good color in terms of, like, if you're doing these type of videos where you're seeing a dash cam video. And of course the rear camera, same thing, but the angle isn't as wide, and overall it still looks really, really good. And the fact that it captures both of them at the same time, is a pretty cool thing. Each of the files that come out of these are roughly around 3 minutes, and then you can set that by user preference. I prefer setting it at 3 minutes so that if something gets corrupted, I only lose about 3 minutes of time and not 15 minutes of time, or whichever else the large format file is. But this is actually very, very good. Have I had to use it? Thankfully not, other than for interesting footage, but it is good. I actually got the AUKEY dual cam because I wanted to run 24/7 as a security device for my car. Anywho guys, if you have any questions, leave some comments below. The original unboxing video is on below as well. Big thank you to all of you guys, and of course like, subscribe, hit the bell button. I'm going to do more updates on my Honda Clarity and the Honda Clarity vlog. See you next time, and thanks for watching. Have a good one. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye.